Biscuits and tea.
34.
Period.
99. So we're here.
Dude, Tyler, every single time we do that, he just gets his like water bottle that's like 50 inches tall, and he's like,
I just try to go to another place. Just
It's gonna be really hard for you to do.
Just go to a beach for like 20 seconds. Wait for you guys to...
when we're all in the same place shooting these.
I'm gonna jump on the table.
Real hard. Yeah, we need props and stuff, like shotguns and shit.
Gosh.
Okay, first off, before we even really get going, even though we're already going, I don't know if either of you are aware of this, but because, like I said, there are two things that happen in pop culture that were told to me that I wanted to bring to both of you. So right now, I'm sending you guys a message for a name.
Okay.
Maybe only B, I think, will know.
Okay.
I want neither of you to say this right now, but I want you to look at it, and I want you to think about how you would say that name.
Oh, I know.
You know about it.
I know about it.
B knows about it.
So I'll let Tyler.
Tyler, do you know about this?
Oh gosh, I read it. I don't remember the exact pronunciation.
Okay. So I didn't know anything about this. And while I was being told to me by somebody, just like at the front desk, they were just saying some shit. And I was just like, what? So guys, for those of you not watching this, we're talking about Elon Musk's daughter, newest daughter, right? I don't know if he has any other. Her name.
Is it a girl?
Yeah, it's. Oh, you can't tell by the name? You can't tell by the name that that's a girl's name?
I thought it was a boy.
I think it's a girl.
Because I thought the name was
it's a girl.
Ash. Like you pronounce the A-E Ash.
I thought it was.
Well, why don't you go ahead and say the name for me then? If you got it,
X Ash A-XII. A-XII after his favorite plane. It's the best plane that's ever been made. I think it's X Ash A-XII.
Yeah, I think you're right, but there is also that word comes from the Scandinavian languages. The AE, that's part of Danish and Norwegian. They have that A. You know,
how is it pronounced?
I don't think what the actual letter.
Yeah,
or the name?
The letter AE. The
letter's A. They say that it can also be pronounced ash in some things.
Okay,
but in normal everyday like Danish speak, no one is saying that. You don't say that letter as maybe like the alphabet. We say A, B, C, but they have different sounds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Maybe it's like that. Maybe the actual letter, but I don't know the alphabet. I can speak, but I don't need to know the alphabet. So maybe, but yeah, I think you're right. I think it's X Ash or A. X-12.
XA A-XII.
XA or X Ash A-XII.
Yeah,
Musk.
And he didn't.
Tyler, you knew about this?
Yeah, I saw something. I thought that her name was like Sasha or something. That's
a good guess. That's a good guess.
Well, that's what I read something about it. I don't know what it is with celebrities giving their kids the most just ridiculous names.
Well, exactly. The reason why is because it's good PR. He's in every single news. Everyone talks about Tesla. So everyone's on social media and podcasts. He just flooded everything that everybody knows this information.
Is that worth it?
It got to me not even through the internet.
Yeah.
Not because I clicked on something. It when it transcends normal day-to-day talk like Corona, you don't need the internet to know that Corona's going on. Like it got to me because somebody was just looking at it and be like, I know we're not talking about this right now, but you just got to see this. Some guy named his kid like some fucking numbers.
I saw there was a meme and it was like the only test that Elon's kid is not going to be able to pass, and it showed a picture of the "I'm not a robot" clicking a button. Like when you're having to prove you're not a robot.
Does the SAT, are there bubbles for numbers?
I never took the
SAT.
I took the ACT.
I would guess it's the same setup because you write your name and then you have to like use the Scantron.
Yeah.
I think bubble in your name.
Oh yeah, he's screwed. Or
he's
she. Is it a he or she? Or when you get a name like that, are you a he or she, or are you just an entity?
Oh, Son. You're right. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Okay,
It's
it's
a boy.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Actually, I'm not sorry because I've never seen anyone name that, so I'm not apologizing for not knowing. Hey, my kid's name's Ashley. Oh, congratulations on your daughter.
I
I get it.
I
You know.
I get that they get a lot of publicity for that. It just seems like your kid would be kind of a limit on like what you would use to, get your name back in the news or get your promote your company. Your kid just
heck no,
seems
man. Heck
like
no.
a weird.
I didn't
If
hear
you're
that.
if
I
you're
was turning
Elon,
my
yeah, if
headphones,
you're
but
Elon Musk, you don't, you decide to be that kind of person in the public eye. You know, your family, everyone is going to be in that life. Like when you decide to do that, that's just how it's going to be. And
Oh,
if you can, yeah,
I get that. Just that almost to me makes it seem like you
what
should.
worse?
what's
Yeah.
unethical
Or
that he has billions of dollars now to give whatever he wants to his kid and provide the most amazing life ever, and then also like future generations for hundreds and hundreds of years. I would not give a fuck if my parents called me XYZ 50
that?
Millie mode, and
Yeah.
then had millions of dollars for the rest of my life, and they're like, "Hey, we're sorry they put you in the public eye, but we thought you would like the $10 million that we got from the sponsor because your
Eh,
name's cool."
Yeah,
That's the
until you're
only
going in
thing, though, right?
until you're going in and out of rehab for the 30.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There needs to be that's a good point. There needs to be a study on some of these celebrity kids with these names. Like how many of them have popped up? Because I think we got like say Will Smith's kids' names aren't too crazy, right? We got Jaden.
Jaden, I don't know any of the other ones.
That's not that bad.
No,
But the
Jaden.
other one is the other one. Remember the head spinning the that head spinning song.
Oh,
I
you
got
spin
the
my
chick.
head right round. That one?
No, no, that would be hilarious. That was Will Smith's daughter. She's like somehow older than him.
Oh my
But
gosh.
no, okay, I got my head spinning. No. It's the
Kanye
girl.
went
She had.
kind of off
Oh,
Isn't Kanye's
Kanye's kids, but
kid?
we can't study them.
north.
Yeah,
Aren't they like named like Apple or something?
Is one apple? I know one's
yeah. That
north or west or east.
one's
Went
north.
with some,
One's
north.
north.
Yeah, it'd be unfortunate. I mean, it would
Yeah.
suck. I mean, like he's gonna be called Ash his whole life, so that's no big deal. But like, imagine
No,
if you
it's not.
did have one of these names, it was like Pineapple, and like everyone just called you Pineapple. That would suck.
Yeah. No. Well, you got Michael Jackson's kid is Blanket, or that was his nickname
That ain't
Blanket.
right.
Or, how
That
do you
ain't right.
know?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're picking that up from a South Park episode,
No.
or the South Park got it off of that.
They did. Well, hold on. Let me stick with Kanye because I know that kid's actual name may be Paris or whatever I don't know. But here, listen to Kanye. Kanye's kids are Northwest, Saint West, Psalm West, and Chicago West.
Chicago. I
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Interesting
Yeah. Anyway,
and
I
very
don't know.
interesting.
Michael Jackson's. Okay. The other thing that
How did you
came
spell that Psalm one? Psalm?
Psalm
Like
yeah,
Bible.
yeah, exactly.
I didn't read the book.
You didn't read the Bible yet. You
I
didn't
haven't
catch up on that.
on the show.
I hope that would be really funny because no, his kids, yeah, no, it's for sure. We got Prince, you got Paris, and Blanket.
Oh my.
Prince Michael Blanket, I guess, is his name. Maybe he's just putting that in parentheses because you remember what happened when he did the blanket thing. He
Yeah.
held the kid over. I think he was in Paris too at that time, maybe, and held
That's
the kid over
always
a
good.
balcony, and they held.
Yeah. What?
He had a
Oh, so
he
that
had a thing covering the face. That was a real thing.
that
Yeah,
was
so
a
South
real
Park
thing.
was
Okay, I
depicting.
didn't know
Yeah,
this
you
was
can
a real
see that
thing.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
So
see that clip.
I was pretty young when it happened. What was
Yeah.
he trying to do exactly?
Well, I think the point was is that sometimes these celebs, and especially back in the day, you don't put out pictures of your kids.
Yeah.
And it was always a big deal whenever these paparazzi they would go and get a picture of the kid because if you get that picture, obviously you're gonna
Oh
make
yeah.
a shit ton of money by selling that to whoever. And so they covered the kid's face, but he dangled him over a balcony a few stories up,
Oof.
and so Yeah.
And everyone
I'm
just
trying to pull it up
lost
right
their
now.
shit. Oh my god!
I mean, yeah, I remember at first thinking, well, because I was young too. I was just like, well, he's got a good grip on him. Like it's a basketball or something. I think he's tucked in. He's got a lock, wrist action looking good.
I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah, I don't get it.
King of Pop here. He's not gonna drop. He's not gonna drop a baby.
You seen how he dances? Like, all right.
Yeah, he is
Okay, so here it is.
very in tune with his body movements.
Yeah. All right.
If I were to
too bad
be
we can't
dangled
share.
off a balcony, I think I'd want to be
Yeah.
dangled off a balcony by Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Well, the clip has looks like it was around 10 years ago. Click on it. It's really quick.
It's only 10 years ago, or is it just uploaded 10 years ago?
Maybe it was uploaded 10 years. Yeah. Hotel ADELE. See what I mean? My first.
I'm still waiting for this to load.
Yeah, my Skype isn't working.
Oh shit! So you can't see it. All right. Well, guys, we'll throw it up. He goes for the quick dip. It's really awkward though. Now that
Oh, so he doesn't dangle him.
I have this like.
I mean, Tyler.
It's
Jesus though.
I was thinking. Okay, so I'm obviously going off of the South Park episode where it's like by a foot, just. But what was the?
It's
he's
not
like freaking out. What is? That's
he
weird.
looks like he's tweaking. He looks like he's kind of tweaking out a little bit. It's a little frantic. He's, I just remember it being like, okay, maybe he should have taken it a little bit slower. Maybe just taking the baby and then gone like this. But it was more like a, and then he like went back inside.
Yeah. What was that? Yeah,
you want more?
He didn't do it. We need a Lion King. We need the Lion.
That's what I was about to say. You want more of a Lion King?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do that.
I think that's how we should introduce all of our babies. Because I know Tyler's gonna have 2 or 3, but every single time we just have our balcony, Goal Remy, and like we just call everyone there, and then we just do a rising of the child to everybody.
I love it. All staff members. It's compulsory.
Are they going to be required to bow?
Are they gonna what? Everyone bows to every new kid. No, it's part of like a ritual. Like it's a kind of culty type feel.
Exactly.
And we like home. Like we get some drums before.
Play the Champions League music.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so that and the only other pop culture thing that was brought to my attention was ADELE. Do you know what's going on with ADELE?
No, I don't.
Singer?
I saw something about her losing weight. I didn't look into it at all.
Okay.
I hope she got broken up with again, so she makes a platinum hit.
Yeah, exactly. We need all our great artists to go through terrible times. Yeah. You're a little too happy. We need some classics. We need some Corona classics here. So we're gonna go ahead and.
Oh gosh.
So what happened is she's lost a lot of weight over the course of I don't know how many years now. Not that much, but she was clearly a bit bigger. I don't know how long she's been around. At least 10 years, right? So. And she got that image and that whole thing. Oh, so you can't.
You can share your screen.
No, you can't. Okay, all right. I'll make it a picture then. See if I can give you the. So she's been losing a lot of weight. On Instagram, she posted a picture of herself. Now because she's lost a lot of weight. Oh my god! Even when I type in before after into Google, she is what comes up.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't have the new Instagram pic, but wow, it is a big they're also choosing the worst
of before.
The worst. Yeah. Yeah. Like some of them aren't. Let me get one that I think is fair.
I should just look this up.
Yeah, you might just look it up. Just look it up. It'll be quicker. Just type in before after ADELE. We'll throw something up here for people that are
2020.
Okay, yeah, but see. you should want to see. You guys do need to see because on the before afters they're not full body. You need to see the picture of her on Instagram.
Oh my god, dude, she's like tiny.
You seen the Yeah. Okay. So this is what's going on. Adele after
Interesting.
Instagram. So, but do you know what the controversy is? What would you guys think the controversy would be? That's what I would like to know. What do you guys think?
I would
is the
say
issue?
that she was somebody that I think a lot of people who were overweight looked up to as somebody that made them feel like they could have a positive identity still and like being overweight. And now that she's gone through such effort to change herself, that I think a lot of people obviously are just getting more insecure about themselves and taking it out on her for wanting to make her own changes to her own life.
Yeah, I would guess people see it as, I don't agree with it, selling out to pop culture, kind of, and just all.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that. Both of them, neither of those are wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're all part of the elements there. Because yes, she sold out to pop culture because most of the pop stars are skinny.
Yeah.
Or the ones that are celebrated the most are skinny. And then 100% people who were overweight were looking at her and thinking, this chick she's got everything. She's an amazing singer, she's talented, people love her, and people were actually also calling her in her own right beautiful for the way that she looks, regardless of her size at all. So it was a big thing for people that were overweight. And now she's not overweight.
Yeah.
She's not overweight at all. She's skinny. And so do those people, so I think those people, the problem I have is that, like, why are you not taking the mirror and having a good hard look at yourself?
Yeah.
Why are you upset that this woman who we don't have to talk about this, being overweight, even a little bit overweight, is not healthy for your body. If you are 20 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, if you're overweight, it means you're just not at your optimal level. It doesn't mean you need to be like that.
Yeah, not like you're gonna die in 2 seconds or anything like that.
No, not at all. No one's saying everybody has to look like that. But the point is, you can't get mad at someone who wants to be more at their optimal. It's going to be easier for her to get her. It's better for her. I don't understand. There can't be any controversy.
Yeah.
Sorry, she wanted to get healthy.
It's ridiculous, and it's an issue where we're always people are always comparing themselves and trying to be like other people instead of just figuring out what works for you, makes you mentally and physically happy, and just going with that. I think if any of us really wanted to be huge, like, we would take the steps to go and do the thing and start doing weightlifting. But we understand, that's not what we want to do. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the Gymshark guy that's massive and everyone sees me and they're like, holy crap, that guy's huge. I'd rather just be normal.
I was just talking with, I think, Victoria about this, where I don't understand the lifting culture in the slightest.
I don't either.
Well, it's also culty. I mean, what don't you understand though? What?
It's not enjoyable.
I love competition, but I don't want I want competition that's more real time, like an actual sport.
How so?
Just a game. Like, you can go play someone, so I can go play someone in basketball. Sometimes they're going to beat me. Sometimes I'm going to beat them. It creates this kind of competition. If I'm trying to outlift somebody that's much stronger, you're never going to.
It's boring. Basically, what you're trying to say is it's boring.
I don't know what the even.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, lift my couch above your head and carry it up for me? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to get sponsored and stuff, that's cool.
Exactly. But that's what it comes down to. Is that I don't have a problem with it. Really, like, go for it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
That's fine, whatever. But the problem I have with that entire thing was on people. I like how they want to push themselves.
Yeah.
That part, Tyler, I think is where it comes from. It comes from an overdrive of men wanting to push themselves better than they were yesterday, and just going to the ultimate extreme because men have more testosterone, and generally speaking, most men on the planet are going to be able to get stronger and bigger, without any sort of add-ons. But the problem I have is some of that. What about functionality?
Yeah.
What about the fact that you can't put your arm over your head? I'm not 100% sure that me, without any training whatsoever, couldn't just slap you in the face and run away. What are you going to do?
They can't run.
move.
They can't
Yeah.
move. They can't grab things. Like just normal functionality. Yeah. No, that's insane.
Yeah.
If you put those guys in a normal, or not normal, but if you put them in a survival situation, they're screwed. I don't
Yeah.
however many calories that you're used to needing to
Oh
maintain
yeah.
everything,
Oh yeah.
and just if
Yeah.
you need to go run 3 miles to go do all right, I'll see
Psych.
you
Oh
in
yeah.
3 hours. Like,
Psych.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
know that's a big discussion.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell
I
me.
mean, I don't know. Will, you lift weights? I've lifted weights. Tyler, you've obviously
Yeah.
lifted weights. Like my good friend Ian Arch, like he's been doing this workout, where he was kind of skinny like me and he wanted to, get bigger. But he's done it
Mm.
like in a super healthy way. And he isn't like giant. Like he might have some stretch marks as his muscles have developed so quickly and things like that, but it's like he can still function. He's stronger. You look at him, he looks, just
Yeah.
filled out and stronger, and
But he looks healthier.
yeah, he's
Does he look
yeah, he
healthier?
looks healthier. So it's just like,
Right.
okay, that is, I think maybe Adele, if she, was that big and then she transformed into more something that just looked more healthy, I don't think it'd be such a
Uh-huh.
controversy. But the picture, that it doesn't
Yeah.
look that good.
That
It looks a
that's
little
the
like
problem.
she's on drugs and
She's gotten she's on drugs. Yeah, she looks skinnier than probably what her health. But the thing is, it's been going in phases. So
yeah,
we actually missed a phase.
yeah,
The fact that the three of us are talking about Adele right now is actually also
yeah.
amazing my brain right now that I know anything about
Mhm,
this. However, I do know that there was a stage that we just missed
mhm,
where she was at that point that you're talking about. So she let her correct it a little bit.
yeah.
But the other thing that I am determined to say is that if you never saw big Adele and you just saw her, you wouldn't have this freak out.
Oh no,
You just be like, oh, she's
no one would
she's a
care.
little thin. You wouldn't care at all. You wouldn't care at
also
all. It wouldn't be.
Maybe it's more of like people are upset because she was like an advocate of you can be big and beautiful, and like she got a lot of
Yes.
sponsorship deals and she was on a lot of
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that obviously is rubbing people the wrong way because they've always looked up to her in that
Yeah.
fashion. But
Yeah.
once again,
Get
if
over it.
you
Get over
are
it.
literally looking at everybody else around you to determine like what is going to make you happy or how you're going to feel good, like you're going to constantly be chasing yourself in circles.
Oh my God. What disaster. Tyler, what were you gonna say about it?
I was just gonna say, even if she did, I didn't even see a good picture of it. Even if, say, she's a little thinner than what would be healthiest for her now, I mean, it easily could just be her playing around like she was at what the perfect weight would have been health wise, and then she wanted to see how she felt at this weight, and worst case, you just
Yeah,
bump back up to what you were
Exactly.
before.
yeah.
Exactly. Fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
her agent isn't going to let her, kill herself. She's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
billion-dollar
No,
person.
no agent has ever let their their employee
True
kill
though.
themselves.
Well, what I mean, well, he's right on the fact that they want to at least try and milk it. Like we're talking about Adele's agent. What if Adele's agent is like is literally a fan of Biscuits and Tea? She's like, I would never fuck Adele. She eats perfectly.
Oh my
She's got a
god.
shrill voice.
Or
It's a guy. It's probably a guy.
or he's completely against it, and he keeps trying to like squeeze her some Snickers or something.
Yeah, it's
It's good for the
we're
brand.
gonna have a little dinner meeting. We've had like 6 dinner meetings this week, Bob. I don't understand.
Can I just
Why
get a
are all
salad?
why are all of my sponsors this month candy bars?
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to get her back up. What would happen though? 2 things. What would happen if she got big again? Because I don't think the internet would know what to do, or they would be praising her. Thank you for having, and then the healthy people would be going, "This is terrible. Now she's clearly unhealthy again, and it's not a good thing for our kids to think." And then also the top comment on the thing that I saw was I didn't see anyone going crazy when Chris Pratt got jacked.
No. It's only women. It's only women where this is an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt got jacked. We didn't go, well, I can't really watch this movie anymore.
He
Well,
used to be
even
fat and now he's fit, so
he,
he's fake.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah.
Love that show. Love that
And
show.
he just
Yeah.
put on he put on like 80 pounds or something ridiculous just for a season, just for like a joke in the show, and then lost all of it.
And what about Jonah Hill?
Not only did he lose,
dude,
Yeah,
Jonah
what do you mean, Jonah Hill?
Hill.
What happened? Do I
Jonah
need to
Hill's
Google this?
Oh my! You don't know what he looks
What
like
happened?
now?
Jonah Hill's super
No.
thin, not super
Dude,
thin,
he
but
looks like a third cousin of Jonah Hill. That is
Are we? Oh no!
yeah. Nobody was. I don't know if it's
Wow.
between actors and singers, but everybody was pretty supportive of Jonah Hill.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Why is that? Is it? Why is that though? Why are they supportive of him
I think this is a male.
and not?
I
And
think
dude,
they're
it's because
that
dudes
it?
are like, "Yeah, bro, nice job, yeah." And then
There's
like I think obviously like women on the other side, there's obviously women who are going to be supportive and things like. But I think there's a large majority of women who maybe I might be overweight. And they're like, "Oh, fuck Adele now, she's fake,"
it's also
Yeah.
I think one factor also could be is Jonah Hill wasn't just the one fat funny guy in Hollywood.
Mm,
There's a whole if you lose one of them, there's still a handful of others.
there's still a
Yeah.
few. Well, there is. I remember some comedians having a discussion on, does it kind of make you funnier if you're fat?
I mean,
Like they were like,
Louis
it's kind
C.K.
of funny when you see a
Yeah, Chris Farley, Louis C.K. Like
Chris Farley was hilarious, dude.
are they funny if they're
It
not
would be
fat?
weird to see that. I don't. They're clearly geniuses in their own right,
Yeah.
but it's just like when Chris Farley would do some of that crazy slapstick humor
Yeah.
and like the way he moved around, like dude, just the way he's moving is funny.
Yeah.
Like I'm already smiling and I don't even notice. Like he's just moving in these little tiny suits. It's hilarious.
There's obviously a science behind that because they were making Fat Albert, the cartoon, and
There you go. Yeah.
every sitcom TV dad is a fat guy that is stupid and what, like, I don't know. It's just like these like super stereotypical things.
I wonder if it's a personality trait though. Like a funny personality trait almost somehow
makes them fat.
fatter. I don't know what.
We find a gene. We find the funny gene. Funny gene's connected to the slightly overweight gene.
More relaxed. You're funny, so if you're a little fat, you
Yeah.
can still talk to girls and get them interested, despite
Yeah.
maybe not looking your best. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Are there?
I don't know.
Will,
I
like,
think
on these threads, like, are there? Sorry, Tyler. Are there like men that are on these threads like angry about Adele losing weight, or is it
Of course
mainly
not.
women?
It's well, clearly there are guys on there, but the guys are making jokes. From the ones that I've seen here, they're making jokes. They're not taking it seriously because they can't. Number one, we can't identify with the struggle in modern society of the pressure, obviously, of what it is to look like this or how they have to. But we need to get some girl. Who would we get on if we needed to talk about this subject before I finish that point? What girl? It's a fashion industry, right?
Yeah.
Someone to talk
Just
about
someone
that?
from like LA.
Or would you get a health?
Someone from Hollywood.
Yeah, someone from Hollywood. I want them to have some sort of background in like fitness as well.
Maybe like
maybe one of those people,
like Adele's like weight trainer.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Somebody who's been on one of those. What was that show? The Lose Weight show.
The Big Loser, the Biggest Loser. Yeah.
Because some of those women have probably gone on to do stuff in media.
Oh yeah.
Afterwards, right? For sure. And so like they could have a pretty good understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
By the way, Jonah Hill looks excellent.
Yeah.
He looks, in this picture at least, he's wearing a tank top. They're showing a picture of when he was back then. It was clear. It's not healthy. That was not healthy. He's drinking a shake coming out of a gym.
Yeah.
I'm happy, dude. I have no other emotion.
Looking at the one where he has a dog in the other picture.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just the before and after, dude. It's just.
I was saying, yeah, he actually looks fit.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Yeah, the dude looks fit.
He looks healthy.
He looks awesome.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre to see him like that after, it's a shock value.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's cool. I think it's also good for him because whether we like it or not, dude, he's gonna play different roles in movies now.
Absolutely.
He's gonna take Chris Pratt got you get jacked and you start getting these lead male action figure. Yeah. He starts becoming this superhero.
What's Chris Pratt?
Jonah Hill's gonna be one of those.
Yeah, no, there was Paul Rudd was the Ant-Man, sorry. That's a hilarious story. During the Super Bowl parade, I think there was like a parent or one of the Chiefs players, like had their kid down there, and Paul Rudd was obviously on one of the buses with all the players, and the player was holding this kid, and he was like, "Look, look," and he's pointing at Paul Rudd, and the kid was like I don't he didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "It's Ant-Man," and the kid's like, "Who's Ant-Man?" It was like
he didn't know.
Freaking hilarious.
Who's Ant-Man?
You can just see Paul Rudd's face. He's just like, "Oh, hey,
it's me." Yeah, hey. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And who's the other KC bigs? Jason said.
Oh yeah, Sudeikis, Jason Sudeikis, and then there's one other guy, the guy who's always yelling.
We got the Riggs.
Yeah, Rob Riggs.
Something Riggs. Rob Riggle.
Yeah, Rob
Riggle.
Like
that. Whatever.
There we go. We're good with names.
Okay. yeah. But anyway, all right. What was the thing you wanted to talk about with the?
I'm just amazed that we just talked about the most pop culture. That was welcome in, guys. We're about to do some gossip. That was the most crazy thing.
Throw it in. Well, it's just because it happened to me, and I was like, what is happening? Why are we mad that someone lost weight? That's it.
Yeah.
You're mad someone was not healthy, is now healthy.
Yeah. I mean,
that's it. Bottom line.
I just find it so interesting to see what I'm concerned about in terms of what media I consume and where I get my news from and things like that. And then I switch on normal cable TV and see what the thing is on, Fox 4 and CNN and Fox, and it's just okay, that is a whole different reality to what we live in.
What was your biggest concern this week?
Biggest concern this week? I mean,
you mean from the? Oh, you mean him in general?
In general.
Oh,
regarding COVID?
No, just everything. Just I don't know what.
I mean, I don't know. I am concerned that there is another virus developing that is just going to come back through, and everyone who has antibodies to whatever this is now, or people who've got through it, it'll just come back and just get them even worse. That's my biggest thing. I think that's really scary.
Were you reading about the old 1918?
Yeah.
Pandemic, about the fact that the second wave was the one that just fucking wiped everyone off the
Yeah, and they're opening back up, and we have people not taking it serious still. Obviously, Tyler, no one knew, a lot of people didn't know this was going to be this bad, and I didn't think it was going to be this bad because I have been on that bandwagon where I don't trust the media about anything at all after everything that's happened.
Yeah.
But obviously now this is real, and it's not good to be just going out and doing all this stuff and acting normal, and people are just not being smart about it and just saying, "Oh, just open back up." It's been 4 weeks, and it's just a little freaky. Second wave. I'm scared about the second wave. So,
well, the first one's still growing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what about
in the U.S. specifically? Yeah, no, my concern actually doesn't have. It's still related to. I'm going to keep it to COVID just to make this a more seamless thread. I'm more concerned about how the world is going to change for 2 reasons. One, because I don't know if you guys know anything about what's going on with the WHO, World Health Organization, and well, essentially some of the stuff that they were saying at the beginning, just to make it simple, some of the stuff they were saying at the beginning about the virus was not correct. I think they had also been they were on record saying that it couldn't be transferred either through air or person to person. I think originally in January or something early on was just ridiculous. They found out since then a whole sorts of
have you seen the air conditioning thing?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so to explain that, B, I don't know.
I don't know what that is. No,
it's
so they're also concerned about people in New York or places that are in obviously high concentrated areas because
they did a study with a restaurant. So they did a study with a restaurant where they had one table was infected with COVID. I think it was one table, and after an hour from the air circulating through the AC, the whole restaurant was infected.
Wow.
So think about your apartment buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Think about you're self-isolating, but it doesn't matter because you're breathing some of the. So that is a terrifying thing to think about. But my point wasn't going to be with that. It was going to be with the fact that at the beginning, when there's all this shit going on, the best thing to do is to generally cut through all the nonsense and look for some experts that kind of have a good idea a grasp, and give you a good understanding. Because if you just listen to all the noise, you're just going to go crazy.
Exactly.
Fox says this, CNN says this. So you look for one, right? Well, I can remember distinctly listening to one of the guys from either the CDC or one of these things, and it was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they asked him, hey, what about the rumors that this thing is a man-made virus that escaped the Wuhan lab out there? And he said, and was so sure, everything that we've said, we've looked into, and everything that my colleagues have looked into are stating that this is clearly not a man-made virus. It's clearly not coming from that lab. It basically, from what he went on to talk about all the gene markers and all the special things that we know because we can tell from the virus, et cetera, et cetera. And now we are almost 100% certain that it came from the lab.
Who said? I haven't seen any of that.
Oh, go check right into it. We are almost 100% certain. They know the doctors. They know where. They don't think that it was intentional, but they know that they were studying this. They know the doctors with which they've got evidence from like 2 to 3 months before that the people that were working in the lab were also infected with this. They're almost certain that it didn't come. So they tried to say that it was the wet market down the way. Obviously, because that makes perfect sense, and that's a very good cover. But what it appears to be is that they were studying something. And 3 years ago, in the same lab, they also had, by the way, also apparently SARS came from this place, area. Something similar, something along these lines has also happened before. So they've had, and they're lax. They don't have the same sort of restrictions and cover that, say, an American or a French, bio, hazard, whatever. They don't take the same sort of caution. Yeah. So I'm a little concerned as to why he was so certain that it wasn't this. Yeah. And also what's going to happen to manufacturing and the entire economy. And is there going to be pullback from China? Is everyone going to pull out? Are we all going to, you know what Japan did? They took $1 trillion, something like $1 trillion to try and get all manufacturing out of China and back in. I mean, if they weren't being transparent and they weren't, telling the truth, like, you kind of have to consider as a nation to, like, we're cutting off anything coming in from China. And I'm sure that if you look back in history, I mean, I don't know, Will, if you know anything like this, but I'm sure there's been similar things that have happened where there's been a sickness in a village or an area of the world, and the emperor or whoever was like, nope, it's done. Like, it's done.
I
find
that's what they did. Kind of more comforting that it actually would be man-made than a natural thing, though.
I do too.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not what I'm not worried about the actual part of the virus. Yeah. I'm worried about what's gonna. Well, we've got a big open, and also
we can't just pull out of China. Like, that would have to be
we're gonna have to
long state. I don't know how long that would take, but that would take a while to just move everything out of China.
Think about what Japan, though. Do you know how Japan is a powerhouse? I know people always forget about like how long, like they've gone through. Obviously, they got hit by nuclear bombs, and then just before we even knew it, they're back on their feet.
Yeah,
freaking their culture is unbelievable, right? They're pulling out, Tyler. They know it's going to take a while. They know it's going to have an effect, but they've decided that this is what's best because something's up, and they're right next door.
Yeah,
are they more dependent on China than we are, though?
Probably not more than what. Probably not more than us, considering we have all our companies, but we've also been tending towards India. The type of manufacturing and things that are happening in China is the issue. Electronics, you can't trust the Chinese government. Not that you can trust ours anymore.
Yeah.
But electronics, a lot of your car shit, everything that's coming into everything that's going to be innovative technology into your future is coming from there, or at least parts of it are coming from there if it's not getting manufactured somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I know that Challenger Teamwear, like even when this was a little blip on our radar in terms of COVID, 6 months ago, I know that we moved all of our manufacturing to Vietnam. Like I think they were doing stuff in China, but I think that like a lot of people have moved their manufacturers to other countries outside of China already.
Yeah, I'm not saying individual companies can. I just mean as a whole.
Oh no, yeah. I was just saying, like, I think that you'll definitely see a trend. I think that people will, rightly or wrongly, be like, oh nope, done with China.
Yeah. you also got to remember, like, and also the relationships of there's a lot of people when they're doing and dealing with certain Chinese. I mean, Tesla's not, by the way. Our friend Elon, who wants to still put, he's still they're gonna do that. They expect to put that stupid thing in someone's
Oh
brain.
yeah, he talked
this
about it on
year.
the second podcast. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I saw. Anytime when the Neuralink comes up, because it's a terrifying and
It's
probably somewhat good, but terrifying.
yeah. I mean, I think that it's gonna have to be regulated in some way. I don't know how they're gonna regulate it, but if we can put a chip in someone's brain that has seizures and they can program it to stop a person from having seizures, then
Exactly.
wow, that's really cool. And how is that any different than putting one of the heart things that keep a pacemaker,
Yeah,
things like that.
pacemaker,
It's just like it's an evolution of technology where okay, we've actually figured out how to hook wires up to people's brains and literally help them through the. But like then you're talking about okay, what's Elon Musk might have one of these chips in his brain right now from 5 years ago. We'd have no idea because the surgery is like that big of a incision, and then your hair grows over it, and then you're plugged in, and then someone's programming information into your brain. I mean, how do you?
I know. It's scary.
Did
You're
you?
just
You don't
so
need
much
languages.
smarter.
You see, he's building an underground highway in LA.
Yes.
I
Yeah, the
just saw that.
hyperlink. I think is it called hyperlink or
I don't
hyper?
remember what it was.
Jeez,
Yeah, yeah.
it's scary,
He's
but like,
he's on some
yeah,
shit. I did see. I only saw the clip though, I didn't watch the actual thing. But
yeah,
the Neuralink is interesting. You're right. It. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. It does have to be regulated,
yeah,
and our we're horrendous at this already. I mean, no one in here believes that there's not a record. We're recording ourselves right now because we want to be, but all our phones, all these other things. If someone walked in and said, "Yeah, sorry, we've been recording everything that you've been," none of us would be surprised.
no.
You'd be surprised, and it is regulated in some degree, but we all know that there's
I
People
just
break
possible
rules.
for
I
them.
just assume I don't matter enough to where somebody's putting in the time to do that on the grand
Well,
scheme.
that was the issue. That's what's the Snowden things, though. That that they went out. Do you know how? So obviously, it's a lot of data, right? If you wanted to capture, the problem wasn't that you're not important. You're not important now. But when you go and you commit a crime, or when you go and you become president, or when you go and you defect to Russia, right? Well, great. Let's go now. Look. So they're not checking. They're not flagging you individually, Tyler. They're keeping everything. The idea is to keep everything.
What are they backing this up on?
That's what I was going to get into, dude. It's the most interesting thing ever. They have massive lands, fucking acres, just land, and they're just filling it with all of our shit. That's it. Just tons of it. I forget what it's called. We have pictures of it too. If
Like
this is
data
why we
farms.
need a real TTOS. Yes, massive, and it's not. We're not talking like a couple things down in underground. Like massive, Tyler.
Yeah.
Just all of your shit. So we'll wait until you defect to Cuba because you like Cuban cigars, and then we'll go see.
In Croatia.
Yeah,
I could defect.
Well, that's fine. Well, they're allies over there.
Although,
but
I am currently in a turf war with a couple pigeons right now.
Oh, what do they want specifically?
They want, so you know how the balconies here, they have the shades that you can pull up and down.
Yeah.
So I had mine kind of open for a bit, and I wasn't going out on it, and I wasn't paying attention. And these two pigeons decided they were going to make a nest inside my balcony, which is completely closed in. So I opened it one time, and there's just these sticks everywhere. Like, what the fuck are these sticks doing here? And then I closed that thing. I was like, goddamn pigeons. So I close it, and now every day for a couple hours, they just stare outside my window, just staring at me. Like,
oh, this is awesome.
Dude, that has been happening to me for the past 6 months. I'm not kidding. There's pigeons right outside my door that are like up in like right in this little nook. And there's this angry mom or dad bird. Every time I come out, it gets pissed, dude. And it flies out and it's like and it scares me every time.
The The guy is definitely the more aggressive one. He's like starts if my windows are open, he'll start poking his head in. His wife's
Yeah,
definitely a little bit more reserved. I think
they're
she just comes
terrifying.
along to make sure that he doesn't do anything just stupid. And then if I look at them for a little bit, they'll fly away. But they'll sit on the lamppost. I'll look out, and both of them will just be on this lamppost, like 15 feet away, just looking at the window.
Oh my gosh, dude.
They're
Yeah, no, I mean, every time I come out, the nest is right here, and then there's
yeah.
like a little roof, and the bird is just sitting on the roof. Look, it can see me, it can see down, and it can see the nest, and it's just sitting there, just walking around, just guarding everything. And it's
Did you ever think about how so like on the outside of my house we have a tree that's directly in front of
yeah.
not like in the actual lawn but like
Hmm.
literally up close to the house. So there was a nest there. Uh and the branches, Tyler, that tree's been there since we've had the house. It's
Yeah.
like 20 years, something like this.
Mhm.
It's a long time and generally you need to trim this and like we hadn't done it in a very long time. And my dad had wanted to do it once, but then there was a nest in there. So
Hmm.
I remember he was pissed off because I was thinking how cool. Two things I was thinking that were cool. One, it was cool because this nest is here, and the bird, by the way, was one of these super chill. The babies were there, the eggs like that. When it would go away, you could peek up and like
Yeah.
look in and
What
like
type of
see it.
bird
And
was
we
it?
got to see I don't know what type of bird it was. Wasn't anything exotic though, not like a blue jay or
Yeah.
anything like that. Very, very
A
normal,
robin.
standard bird. Yeah,
Yeah.
robin possibly. And so you could see, and I got to see the babies. I got to see the whole thing happen from the nest to the eggs being there,
Hmm.
to the bird sitting on the eggs. And the thing is that I also thought was weird. Imagine that's your house. Like first off, they just how crazy like you go inside, you take a little shower. Oh, it gets a little cold. Let me put a sweater on. Like let me adjust this thing. No, it rained during that time. There was lightning, wind, like every time. And so like I started to get really invested in the thing too. So like it's like raining. I'm like, I hope they're okay. Like I hope everything's okay because I'm like I don't want anything to happen. But that's just you know what that is? That's just wussy ass human
Yeah.
thinking because I go inside when it rains
Yeah.
because I don't want to get wet.
Yeah.
They're like, no,
We're taking a
this is
bath.
normal. Like
Yeah.
this is what we do. Yeah. And so like everything happened, and then they also no deaths, nothing. Both the birds, little birds, like they hatched, and like after like a week or less, they were ready, and boom, gone. They
Wow.
left, and then the thing was there.
That's what I've
My
been.
dad was
Yeah.
only happy.
It's like good
No, I was just gonna
karma.
finish it though. He was pissed off because he couldn't trim the branch. He was like, finally, I can cut down this tree. Like he didn't care about how cool it was. He's just like, I don't want to cut
I
the tree down.
know. But it's
Like
like I
like
do. I feel bad. Like you feel bad cutting down the branch and just ruining their home. Like you'd feel really bad. And like
So
I feel bad, and it's like I don't want to. But it's been 6 months. Like literally, these birds have been there for 6 months. They shit everywhere.
yeah.
I walk up the stairs. It scares me because it's massive. I'm telling you guys, this pigeon is huge. I'll take a picture of it so we can pop it up on this.
Oh yeah.
But it is scary, dude. It's aggressive.
you want to hear some bad news?
What?
Pigeons
What?
use magnetic fields to
Oh.
find their nest. So when they find a spot, they'll keep going there for years.
Oh God.
So you
Oh.
have to. Could you? All right. Let's just assume that the animal rights activist people, guys, if you're an animal rights activist, go ahead and skip ahead right now as we talk about this. You think if you killed the pigeon, you think if you shot a pigeon or like hit it with a bat or something like that, and it still survived, do you think it would still come back? Like if you started a
Oh,
real war with
if you hit it with a bat,
you didn't kill it.
head. I think
You gotta. I mean, I'm not talking. If you connect, if you connect, yeah, it's over. Like you've definitely knocked it. But then again, I was sitting at a Borders years ago, maybe Barnes and Noble, and I was reading a book, sitting at the cafe, and it sounded like once again like a truck hit the building, and everybody freaked out. Coffee's going everywhere. They just boom, like that. And the seats that you can sit up there up against the window
Uh,
where you can like you're sitting, you're facing your
yeah.
high chair, like high stool. No one knew what was happening, so I like leaned up over over the thing to see that it was a bird that had hit the
Yeah.
window at the speed of God. I don't even know what sort of speed, and it was doing a little bit like this, and then it took and it got up and flew away. So I don't know.
It was
You know,
I don't.
knowledge.
Yeah, like, do they have like? I don't know a lot about. I want to have somebody on who's an expert on birds now, because like we've had like these encounters with birds on the soccer field, getting attacked by hawks, and then now we have these pigeons that are. I think that
pigeons.
and then for whatever reason, when we had like the esports logo made up, like Nate like incorporated an owl. Like I see a trend in Golaremian birds that I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm kind of scared of them. I'm gonna be honest.
You're scared.
What's the study of birds? What is what are you?
Bird law?
Wingology.
Bird lawyer.
Birdology. Birdologist. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Study of what do we call it? So when we go to look for the person to get on the podcast, study of
Beaktologist.
Ornithology.
It blows.
It's
ornithology.
Ornithology.
It blows my mind that some people get these birds, like the African greys, that live for 60, 80 years.
What's that? Oh.
And they have like the intelligence of a 3-year-old. It'd just be having this 3-year-old with a razor sharp beak that's gonna live for 60 to 80 years. Like they're cool, but I could never.
Yeah.
How can you trust a bird?
You can't. That's the thing. You can't trust any of those things. You guys saw. You can't trust any of those. Any sort of animal that has a higher level of consciousness that isn't a dog.
Yeah.
Can almost I mean, you can trust. What's that lady? There's that Jane Goodall lady who basically went and like studied. Maybe not orangutans.
Chimps. Yeah, I think she
gorillas.
Chimpanzees. Yeah.
Chimpanzees, and like she became friends with them, and she was like teaching and talking to them, and like doing all this stuff, and it's just like we don't understand what level of consciousness they have and stuff like that. But I don't know, Tyler. I was in Denmark before we did Unisport once, and there was a. I can already guess, or sorry, you guys can already guess what these people look like. I'm just gonna describe something to you, and then I want both of you guys to tell me what sector of the human populace they came from. There was a guy and a girl. It was a cafe, nice cafe. I'm not saying that it was. That doesn't give you any clues. It wasn't like a trucker disgusting bar. Nothing like. No, just a normal cafe.
Like you get coffee and sandwiches and tea.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, the European style cafe.
Okay.
In comes a guy and a girl, and on this guy's shoulder is a massive bird. A massive bird, not a small one. That also talks. I don't know what type because he's a
pirate. They're pirates.
Yeah. Could you guys tell me what sector?
What season was this?
Of human. Like right now, it would be
right
like the time. This sunny.
I'm guessing
springish.
I'm guessing they both had long braided matted hair, blonde.
One of them did.
Not blonde. I'm guessing flip flops. Super baggy pants that
cargos,
are kind of like
lots of storage.
Yeah, and then just the shirt,
tank top.
No,
exposed chest hair, armpit hair.
It'd be really like colorful.
Exposed hair, chest.
Yeah, really colorful.
Exposed hair.
Sleeve shirt with like a deep V kind of.
Yeah, not a tank top, but you can definitely see the natural hair coming out.
Exactly. All of that, 100%. That's it. That was them. And I didn't know what the whole thing. They didn't think it was weird at all that every once in a while their bird would go, like that.
You can't just bring a bird in.
Yes, dude.
But that's our society now. Shit. That's our society. You have to be PC. You have to accept everything that's going on. Oh, okay. If maybe it's the bird helps them stay calm or something, or
therapy bird. Yeah, I stopped everything I was doing. I remember I had like the computer out and like I had my notebook out and like I had stuff done, but I shut everything down to just watch the shit show of these people walking up to the front and everyone accepting it.
No, I'm not accepting that.
Some people thinking that it was cool.
I'm gonna walk up to them and say, "Okay, wait a second. You're in a cafe and you got a bird on your shoulder. Is that up to code? Is that up to code?"
The second you put your finger out like this, it's gone.
Oh, dude.
The conversation ended before you even got your first word out.
I did. I should have, like, that's a thing that you take a picture of.
Yeah.
And, like, if I was more, like, active on social media,
Yeah,
it's like a straight moment to just be like, what is happening?
Were they Danish?
You know? They were foreign. They were foreign for sure. They were not your average Dane. I don't know any Danish people that walk around with birds either. We probably have to claim them. To be honest, they're probably Americans. That's some
that
sort
is
of
some
crazy
American
shit.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you wouldn't get away with that 30 years ago. Like if you're walking down the street and you had a bird on your shoulder and you were like, people would be like giving you so much shit, and they would.
I could see them coming up from like Spain or Portugal.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You could maybe they had that look now in my head is because their hair was dark. They weren't blonde. They were darker haired. Easy. Their skin was easily tannable, which is how I know they weren't truly Danish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've seen the sun at some point in the first 25 years of their life.
Exactly. Yeah, they had some.
Do you guys
bronze and going on?
Do you guys know the comedian Sebastian Monaco, or I can't remember how you pronounce his name? He's an Italian, shorter guy.
Is this the famous Italian dude? Is he short?
He's short.
The Italian dude that people really like.
Yeah, Sebastian Maniscalco. Yeah, stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
He has a bit about someone getting on a plane with some sort of crazy animal like that, and he just like explains that whole scenario of just like where I'm from. If you come outside like that, you're not going to be able to walk down the street like that. Like where I'm from, you can't get away with that. And it's like, it's so true that like we're in a culture now where if you do see something that's so out of the world weird like that, you're not supposed to like confront people about it or like be judgmental. But it's like, what do you expect? That is so bizarre. Like my mind is blown. Like I can't control that. Like that is not normal for me. Like
no.
My biggest factor of why I wouldn't talk to somebody who is doing that or try to confront them on it is they don't care. Whatever you say is just they're not going to care in the slightest what you say to them. They have a bird
or they're doing it because they want you to have a reaction and they want the attention for you to come up and talk to them. It's either way.
They did. Yeah, it could be both. It could be a little bit of.
Yeah.
I mean, God only knows. They did get quite a bit of attention, obviously. I mean, there was no way not to, right? Some people are trying to read. Some people, like this happening 3 seconds in your book, and so
is this a turkey? Where
yeah. It was, dude. It was not normal. It wasn't like a caw. Like it wasn't that. Like it wasn't like chirp chirp. It wasn't.
What was the size of the bird? Can you give us a?
It's a thick size bird, dude. We're not talking. No. This is not like a little. You might even be okay with a little tiny bird. Okay, this little tiny bird, like he picks up the food after you, like you spill it on your.
That'd be amazing.
I'm okay.
He's watching your croissant crumbles on your table.
Yeah. Like no, it wasn't a little helper bird. No, we're talking like a bird. Like if that bird decides inside to start the fight, like start shit down, like he wins.
Yeah.
And we all lose while we all duck for cover.
Yeah.
Like he's winning.
They're strong, dude. Birds are powerful creatures. I've really underestimated birds my entire life.
100%.
Like the things they can do is just amazing, and that it kind of makes me think they're not actually birds. Like I think they're government created robots that survey everything. But I don't know. It's just amazing how fast they can fly, how they can see things from so far away, how they can be miles in the air and then come down and catch a tiny little mouse. Like what? That's not right. Like, come on.
My parents used to have a cockatoo before all of us were born. So if you know, those are the white ones, the all white parrot.
Yeah.
And it didn't like a dog or one of my parents' dogs or the dog my parent had. I don't know. There was a dog it didn't like, and it would rattle the dog's food bowl and call the dog into the room to come eat. When the dog came in, it would push the bowl into its head because it would be up on a countertop, and it would just push this bowl, hit the dog in the head with the bowl.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like that is amazing that they have that level of we don't know enough, man, because where does consciousness as the level that we are having, you know what's weird?
What they say some of the smarter birds are they say like a 3-year-old is like their what they
That's like a good match
yeah
for them.
they say yeah.
Okay, well then, my question for you is, where does it stop?
Mm-hmm.
Where does it stop? Does it stop at a worm? No. Is the virus? Is COVID alive? It's a virus. It's trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
It's spreading.
Yeah.
It understands what it needs to do to live.
Yeah.
Is it communicating in a way? You can't talk to the bird. The birds can talk to each other. You can't understand a dolphin. We're 100% sure now that dolphins have different ways of speaking, different voices. We understand they talk to each other. You can't understand them.
Yeah.
So where and when does it stop? Like, that's always the interesting one. But I think the more crazy one that no one ever seems to talk about, because maybe it gets too close to religion, is what's above our consciousness.
Yeah.
We understand what's below, right? But what if there's shit above? Like, I don't know what it would be, but
I mean,
the trees are all plotted.
Yeah, the trees, bro.
The trees are plotted 100%.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill us all someday.
Trees are smart as fuck, dude.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, we were
on the thing with their communication.
One of the first ones where they talk with themselves and sacrifice the greater good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I would, if someone told me that, dolphins had a higher level of consciousness than me, I would believe that. Like, think about the complexity of their lives and what they have to do to survive and all these things compared to me. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
There's some theories that I've seen where dolphins, if they were just able to be on land and create fire and all this stuff, that they could have evolved into some crazy things. Just if you're underwater, there's only so much you can do underwater.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also pathetic to think about. You guys know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is,
Yeah.
I'm assuming, right? You guys know the famous, I think was he an astrophysicist?
Yeah.
Yeah. He likes to talk about how he's amazed at, he's like, what's cooler, outer space or Earth? And yeah, he's right. Outer space is huge, and there's clearly a lot that we can get into. But isn't it also kind of interesting to think that we haven't even explored, I don't know what the percentages of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
We can't even go down to some of these places. And every time we do get a glimpse, we're like, what is that? And where, like, how did you survive? And
that is an
we can't
alien,
understand.
literally.
Yeah.
An alien.
Yeah.
I know when the tsunamis wash up, I know one of the recent ones that hit Japan, they found, like, just from the tsunami, they found like 40 new species just combing the streets of whatever town the tsunami hit. They just found 40 new species that.
We're going to find out so much stuff about our Earth in the next 30 years. It's going to be too much.
There was a There was a crazy thing on Planet Earth, one of the older ones, where it was talking about these little micro colonies of, I think they're these shrimp-like creatures, and they would be eating off of what are those vents in the ocean that shoot? I don't know if it's methane.
Yeah, I don't know if that's methane gas. I know
you
exactly what you're talking about. I can see the picture in my head.
It comes out from the core of the Earth, and it has some nutritional value to it. And it heats up the water, so you can have these little colonies around it. But there's no way to travel from one of these little places where all the methane or whatever gas is coming out to the next one. So these little colonies will be just completely different. Like, they went a completely different way of evolution than one that's maybe half a mile to the south or to the west. They're all just completely different, isolated. Yeah, and they're these creatures that have almost no relation to each other at all.
Wow.
So, but the thing that about this all, especially the dark ones, do you guys know that for the most part, we didn't think that giant squids existed until we didn't have, like, this is why once again we need Titas here, but giant squids from, like, mythology, almost, like, even
massive ones.
Massive ones. Like, so there's some stories from some essentially the Kraken. Like, there are actually some anecdotal accounts, historical accounts from historians and people who we are otherwise saying, have done a great job of documenting history, who will then talk about, oh, this one ship or my one ship got crushed by a giant squid. There are all these stories. We didn't think that was real, just like we also didn't think that the city of Troy was real. We saw some great squids now, officially. We had our first picture of, I don't know how many years ago this is. I think it was in Japan. Yeah, look at Great Squid.
I
We
mean,
got I think it was a motion sensor.
why
I think we
not?
That caught
I
it
think we found them before that one, but this was the first live one that they.
live. Yes, you're right. That was the first live one that we got to see.
No
Uh,
way. Holy crap, the thing's huge.
but the size that they were also speaking of before is also way bigger than the ones that we've seen and way bigger than the ones that have washed up. So we've already gone in our modern day and been like, well, they're just not good at like figuring out like how big. What if, just like the book said, that a giant squid crushed our boat and it was as tall as this building? What if it actually was that big? I don't understand. What makes you think that it wasn't that big? If the one you're looking at couldn't do it,
Yeah.
and they were just like, no, because that's not it. That's like the little baby one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Like
could.
a big mom
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
It could even be now that maybe they just hate the sound of sonar or radar or something, so they don't even come near the surface. But back then, they would just be chilling,
Yeah.
doing
Chilling up
whatever.
at the front. It was
I don't
silent
understand why that
again.
would be so crazy people to believe that. Like why people think they're like so sure about this kind of stuff that happened so long ago. It's like, come on, like get over your little data set that you
There's
think.
there's people that claim dragons existed.
Why not?
Yeah, and they also, yeah, there's some
Jellyfish
well,
give off
yes, look at
electricity.
all the
Why wouldn't a lizard be able to create fire? I don't know. Like,
fire or some form of it or something. Like it just doesn't
yeah.
seem. What is in the bottom? You guys hear about there's the famous thing about the bottom of the ocean. They heard this, because we do have sonar now. There was some blip or some sound that we caught
Okay.
that they know is not man-made. They know that it's a living creature
Okay.
and it's bigger, and they're like estimating how big this thing would have to be. It's, dude, we're talking, just forget it. Like just forget it. Like the size of like the US or some, not that big, but like
Yeah.
you understand what I'm
Just
saying. Something
incredibly.
we don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yes, and that they know is man-made. It's one of these, it always gets cited for biggest discoveries to be made,
Yeah.
in the depths of the ocean, because they hear this thing every once in a while or things like it. They know it's not man-made. It's sitting out there and it's bigger than anything we've ever seen. And we know about whale, like a whale, those things are also huge. Like
Massive.
they're huge. It's bigger.
Why not?
Way
Why
bigger.
could there not be like look how big the ocean is? Okay, even when we say how big the United States is, okay, but the ocean is huge.
Huge.
And
Huge, dude.
the bit like it's just like a fish tank. The concept of okay, you have this fish tank, you put a fish in there, it's going to be that big because it's in that space, it has that much resource.
Right.
You get a bigger tank, more food, bigger fish. You get bigger the
Yes.
koi fish. For
Exactly.
example, like if you have a bigger koi pond, the koi fish are going to be bigger. Why not?
Right.
If you just take that exponentially, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, because some scientists have also said that there's a limited spot where it has to happen, and there's just absolutely no way an organism could survive with that. And they're sure of it, and their science is good like that because
Yeah.
everything that they know of also
Yeah.
adheres to this rule.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, dude. Because
If it's not going to eat sand, and that's all it needs to eat is just sand.
what's
I
that?
think one of the biggest issues when people talk about those huge animals down is like, what are they eating? Like what? Because if you're that big, you need to be eating something. But
Maybe not.
Why?
I know
How?
that's what I mean.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there could be something else
Yeah.
there.
Maybe they
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like
just
those Greenland sharks. Have you seen those? There's
Mm-mm.
something that's like
I don't know what that is.
550 years old.
it's nuts,
They
dude.
just swim around. They're blind. They just swim the bottom of the ocean, just super
Oh my
slowly.
God.
They eat like once a year. They just
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Dude.
500. They've dated some to where they were living when Columbus was sailing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my. See, there you go.
Blows my
That's
mind.
not okay. That's not okay, because you know what? I bet you guarantee, like, imagine being the dude on that one cruise ship when, he eats once a year and it's still happening right now. Like, that's where we get like all these weird, and you're on that one cruise ship. No one believes it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're the one survivor maybe. And they're just like, dude, a shark the size of one of the Twin Towers ate our ship. And they're like, okay, Bob is have some dehydration. We'll get him back in. You're going to be fine. Like, no. Yeah, it could happen, but that's also the same.
Absolutely.
That's the same issue they have with not time travel, which is a whole nother thing, but with aliens.
Yeah.
The main issue with aliens visiting us is that They couldn't get there. How could they get here? They have to travel light years, and we don't have we can't do that. And because we can't do that, it goes against our physics. It's not possible.
Our physics.
I've always thought the main issue of aliens getting to us would be it matching up with the timescales.
That's also an issue. That's not an issue.
That's what when I think about it. That's usually what my base to turn is just they might have been here maybe 5 million years ago, or they might be here in 10 million years or a billion years, but
I think it's a valid. My only issue with that is the fact that you are sitting here right now. Why do you even exist? And even in your, do you know how ridiculous it is?
It makes I'm here because right now. I mean, I'm not here because, but this is part of our little. I'm part of this little bubble of our time.
How many of those bubbles happen?
I have no idea.
The statistical probability for you being alive.
Oh, no, I know.
The fact that you're alive.
Yeah. So okay, but then you can take that. So you can take the statistical probability of me being alive, and then you compounds onto the.
But what if we're not? That's the problem, though. What if we're not rare? What if it's not rare?
Yeah.
What if it's not a rare thing within the entire universe for life to be? We don't know if it's rare or not, and we don't even know if it's held to this specific dimension.
So we're like the one weird section of the universe where there's just not 20 planets next to each other, all just chilling. With
when I was in grade school, when I was in 4th grade, we didn't know about. I don't think any, at least publicly, we weren't taught of any other planet outside our solar system, Tyler.
Yeah.
None. These are our planets. Now, there are so many places where we think could house and hold life that it's absolutely insane. Every week we find a new, this is a Earth-like, habitable planet. Here's another Earth-like habitable planet. It's in the Goldilocks zone right in between their sun. And there's a moon right here, and it's perfect. And it's just we keep finding these,
and that's all.
But we keep looking for us,
and that's all based on our requirements.
Exactly. Which is I don't know what's going on, but it's troubling. Just the fact that we keep looking for us.
No, it's not going to be us. Yeah, we're not going to be. Yeah, we're not going to go somewhere and it's going to be some green guy with it's not going to be that.
Yeah.
There's some theories that that's what it is, though. Is that this is actually the way that life is on Earth is actually kind of the foothold for how life is everywhere. And that there's some weird people that suggested like octopuses are aliens and that they're actually from another planet.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, panspermia is a very valid. Do you know what panspermia is?
No.
Panspermia is the theory that essentially it doesn't help solve where we came from. It just says that life was seeded on this Earth by an asteroid or comet that hit us, and obviously the biological precursors for life came on that, and so that's how we were seeded.
Yeah.
Which would make us also aliens, and which would also not account for where that thing came from.
Yeah.
But
mushroom spores can survive in the vacuum of space. That's a crazy.
Wow.
And dude, that's a whole cycle. We need to get some sort of psychedelic. We got all sorts of people we need to get on here now.
For sure.
Should we just? We're at 1:14. You need to go in 5 minutes. Do you want to just close this out in 5 minutes?
Yeah. A public service announcement, really. I understand that we're dealing with the pandemic, and businesses are in a tough situation where it's tough to help people in customer service right now. A lot of call centers are down. A lot of companies are cutting staff and things like that. But I've just had the worst luck with just getting simple questions answered. For example, I got a new computer. I needed to figure out where the computer was. It's an expensive computer. And Micro Center, I could not reach anybody. I sat on hold for hours. And, someone will be with you very soon. Due to COVID, longer wait times are occurring right now and yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, I can't get help from anybody. So Apple, same issue. Restaurants messing up everyone's food. How is Goloremi going to help change customer service? That's really what I've just been trying to think about here.
Well, the issue you just brought up is making me think that because everyone's using COVID as an excuse, whether or not it is or isn't, it's kind of like people with their kids when they have, I can, yeah. And so, what I think is there's definitely like high style CEOs out there that realize that this COVID is going on, and they're just like, all right, so customer service is gonna be really bad. Hey, Sharon, how much are we paying our customer service? Right, that's about 1.5 million for the entire year on the entire payroll, sir. Hey, let's go ahead and just fire everyone and get Jeff in. He's back there washing up. Just put him on customer service.
B, do you want to?
We'll just keep that.
Do you want to make an app that's only for customer service of companies?
Yeah, like just a medium, just somebody, because all these companies that are, because Apple did a better job. Like the newer companies obviously do a better job at helping people, but all the medium to small and even big companies that were developed by boomers, horrible customer service. AT&T, we talk about all these big entities, awful, horrible. And I'm telling you right now, I would pay $200 extra for any of my services to know that I'm gonna have good customer service. I'm gonna be able to talk to people, and don't tell me Apple Care is worth the money. Like, I'm talking like I want an agent who's my customer service agent that for anything that I'm dealing with. And I understand AI is kind of going in that direction, but like it's just so bad. We're so behind. So I hear about we're putting chips in people's brains, but I can't literally figure out the computer that's in my living room right now. The tracking information says it's in Virginia, outside of Tyler's hometown, Falls Church. So what's going on here, Elon? Are we really ready for chips, or can we get tracking on the freaking shipments?
Is it in Chantilly?
Sorry, what?
Is it in Chantilly?
No, I can't remember what it was. It was just outside Falls Church. I saw it. And I was like,
I think we need there's gonna have to be some sort of agency. You're gonna have to open up an agency where your customer service agent, customer service rep, your personal customer service rep, he goes on. It's his job.
Mm-hmm.
So you come to our business, right? We're all customer service.
Mm-hmm.
You come in and you say you got an issue. I got an issue with Amazon. I got an issue with Best Buy. I got an issue with Tesla, my Tesla, and I can't get a hold of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You come to our service. We're the customer service.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they got to give them. They give them all these stupid nerd names. Genius Bar.
I've tried it a couple times. It was like Joe. It was like Joe helps you do this, and then you contact the people. You connect your bank accounts.
There is a thing like that.
Yeah, you connect your bank accounts, but it's not good. It's not good. Like they don't solve the thing. Like I had a subscription that got double charged, and I was like, yeah, I'll and you pay whatever you think you should pay. It's like one of these companies, and you pay $5 per month, and you hook it up to all your stuff. They're obviously collecting all of your data, so they're like, yeah, we'll definitely take care of your Amazon thing if you give us your bank statements. And like people are like, oh, it's cheap, and they just connect all their stuff to it. But then you get an email 2 weeks later. We were unable to contact AT&T to lower that bill for you. So sorry about that, but yeah, could keep using our service. And it's like, okay, you're a data mining company. Okay, got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You guys sold everything that you know about me now, probably back to the same companies that I'm supposed to be fixing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's not gonna get sorted out. That's probably gonna get worse.
If someone has an issue with Goloremi, like I don't know if the solution is like, okay, there needs to be a person, obviously, like every other company does, and it's like you're gonna talk to a human and we're gonna get it sorted out. I don't know if that's not the sustainable, way to do that. So how can we ensure that people aren't going to call into goloremi.com and sit on a hold for 3 hours, and we know that they're never going to get dealt with? No one's ever going to answer their call.
See, that's an issue. That is an issue.
That's what happened to me 3 times at Micro Center.
Yeah, I can't deal with that either, though. If they put me on, we talked about this before, but I can't also repeat everything you made me do on your automated system. If I type in my credit card and all the PIN and all the other stuff and whatever you want me to do, and then I get to you and go, hey, Mr. John, could you go ahead and tell me everything that no, I can't.
So
Sorry,
annoying.
Can't do that. But I think, what if because this is what we do. What if we made your customer service experience actually good? What if we made it entertaining?
Mhm.
What if we made you? What if you were able to win or get something like? Or what if
When you're
we
old, if you
could
had a, like, comedian set or something.
live some sort of maybe we get instead of our AI tells jokes or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you have a chance to win a flight if you stay on hold. You have a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll give you something for our fuck up already. Like just the fact in no surveys at the end.
No.
At the end, our survey is was this a guy comes on and goes, "Hey, was this all right?" And you just press 1 for yes and 2 for no.
Just like
And that's it. And
yeah. Make it something
let's
beneficial.
cut.
Yeah.
Have
I think that's the
have
problem.
a some sort of quiz, somehow questions you can't just Google. So the more time you're on it, the higher time you have getting however many points you need. If you get a certain amount of points, then you get something.
Yeah, or you get to skip. What if you could skip the line?
Or
If you could like get
it's not a first come first serve. It's on whoever has points in these quizzes.
Would you like to cash in your Golarimi points to move up to the first?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We gotta think of something. I mean, there's some restaurants that they're like, hey, if we don't get your food out in 17 minutes, meals on us. I think that there has to be a new standard for customer service, especially like
Yeah.
when you're spending this much money with companies. There has to be some sort of standard. If you spend
Yeah.
$7,000 on something, you should be able to call the company
Yeah.
and ask them, hey, what's
Yeah.
going on? You know, like
For companies, it's bad. Oh my gosh, getting my healthcare switched.
oh, dude,
Oh my
unemployment,
god.
healthcare. I was telling you
Oh
guys,
my
the
gosh, you're
freaking system for Kansas unemployment was built in the '80s. The website.
So, so
I
they never expected
when I was
this.
They
switching my
go ahead.
I says when I was switching my healthcare, I spent a day going between 3 departments. One would send me here, the other one would send me here, and then that one would send me back to where I started, and it would be this cycle
Yeah.
of this be this hour and a half cycle for just
Bureaucracy.
days. Well, we don't
Yeah.
really know
Yeah.
if, like, this is you actually have to go here, so, I'm gonna pass you on to this agent, and this agent goes, "Oh, well, they weren't really were supposed to pass you on to me. We're gonna send you here, which is where you should have been in the first place." I'm like, "No, that's where I started." It's like, "Okay, yeah, but they'll sort you out this time. Go here." "Yeah, we don't have all the information. This person actually has your information. You're gonna have to go he" It's just
No, it's horrible.
Disaster.
The Kansas State they were hiring. Sorry, someone's calling me now. Jeez. Okay. Sorry. So someone was they had a job listing for bringing someone on that like knew how to operate some crazy Microsoft, like one of the first systems for like
Mm.
building a site.
Oh
And there's
Jesus.
like nobody
Yeah.
in our age groups that like know anything
Mhm.
about this software. It's like 30 years old and no one
Yeah.
uses it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what the unemployment system was. That's what the interface was. So they needed somebody who probably got laid off or whatever,
Right.
useful information. Like finally gets their job back and like, oh great, now I can get back on the
Yes.
have it. They're employed now, but it's like
Yeah.
really? Is that how
Dude.
advanced are we? You know?
I don't. Yeah, that's the problem. And speaking of that, you know who else is really bad, notoriously with this is airlines.
Mhm.
I can remember in 2000, also embassies. I remember having to deal with certain visa stuff, and so I remember in 2013 something. I was home in the summer sometime. I needed to talk to an airline about switching some flight. The times were I don't know. I needed to change a flight,
Yeah.
something like this. I started getting passed around all these things, and the only thing I remember is, and they started giving me, you know how they give you numbers sometimes, like
Oh,
I'll
I
transfer
hate
you,
that.
but would you like this number too, just in case you get, okay, fine. So she said, oh, and she goes, I got a couple numbers for this department, and she gives me the numbers, right? And instead of passing me on, I needed to go do something, so I came back, I called the number, right? And the lady picks up, and I said, yeah, so I'm trying to do this thing. She immediately goes, who is this? I go, I go, I'm trying to just, I'm trying to search. How did you get this number? I said, well, they gave it to me. No one's supposed to have this number. How did you get this number? And she started freaking out. And I I knew something was up. Either she gave me some sort of internal number or like the direct number to probably Kathy's desk, like or Kathy's cell phone who works there.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I was like, I'm a pretty big deal, Sharon or Kathy, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty cool. So that's why they gave me the number. She's like, you shouldn't have this number.
Dude,
They should not be giving you this number.
Uh,
Can I just get my flight changed? I don't,
Just flying back from Manchester. When I was flying back from Manchester, when I was flying out of Munich, so I think it's an 1.5-hour flight from Munich to Zagreb. Our plane was already delayed like 45 minutes before we left. Then we flew to Zagreb, circled Zagreb, and flew back to Munich.
What?
Because they said it was too windy or something. Like, oh, it's too windy. Like, we can't land the plane. So we went back to Zagreb, waited another 1.5 hours. Back to Munich, waited another hour after, then flew up. It was like a 6-hour delay. They gave me a $10 voucher for food.
That's it. Yeah, that's what they think is adequate.
I got a $10 voucher for food, and the cheapest meal in Munich was like $12, $14.
Oh,
like,
100%.
I was like, what?
No, forget about
what
it.
What is this?
Don't give me anything. It'd be better you give me nothing.
I was so upset too because I couldn't even push them to try to get any more money back because obviously we didn't pay for the flights. So I was just like, I'm not even.
No,
shit. To go in this for.
It's hilarious.
No, B. I think that's the way to solve it. I think it takes people who are actually in the entertainment and field trying to solve that to make the experience, because you got to remember when we're calling customer service, we have a problem already.
Yeah, we're pissed.
We're already annoyed. Yeah, and most people are actually pissed because the thing that they gave a lot of their hard-earned money for isn't working.
Yeah.
And so they're already mad. So you know how much I bet you customer satisfaction would go through the roof if we were in charge of through that, because yes, sorry our thing doesn't work. We know all things don't work all the time perfectly. Great. We're going to have some issues.
Yeah.
But if we make the experience for you, you got to, you got a comedian set right there. Somebody came on.
You should
want
free ticket. The thing to mess up. You should want to have, like you're saying, like you should, like if I should want my phone screen on my iPhone to stop working so that I get to go and I get special access to the thing that only people who have issues with this can see.
Exactly. Yeah. And there, I think you will have at least, maybe it's not better, because then at the end, even if your customer service sucks and we can't solve your problem, not everybody's going to be as pissed. You might not say,
I got special access to Lil Wayne. He did a little concert,
Yeah. Lil Wayne did a little concert. Got a couple tickets to,
He's probably available.
Yeah, he is. I don't know what he's up to, that dude.
Oh. All right, guys.
I remember we thought he was going to die, but yeah.
I got a video.
All right, so now you need to go and video. Wait, no, you can't go yet. You got to give us 2 minutes and 40 seconds more, and we'll be at the first hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
First 90-minute podcast.
Ugh. Welcome in for an hour and a half.
Do you guys even remember what we started talking about?
Talking about ADELE and
Elon.
No, Elon Musk.
And that's where that ended. We ended up talking about giant squids and Elon Musk and ADELE and Jonah Hill. Customer service.
What's the quickest way to censor the Instagram names? Do I use a filter?
Well, you have Gaussian.
Like a black bar?
This is a very... Oh.
Like, what do you think?
You have Gaussian. Gaussian's a thing that you can put on it's like a filter.
Okay.
And it blurs.
Oh, okay. I just put that on the comment. So wait.
Yeah.
Do I use that on the screen or on the?
No. Well, you can put that on the actual comment that's there. You want the actual comment to be there, but you don't want the picture to be there? Is that correct?
No, he
wants to blur the screen names.
I want to blur the screen
You want to blur just the names?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could just create a little take one comment. What's the way it works? Take one comment, put something on, copy it, put it on top, put Gaussian on the one that's on top, transform it down. Yeah. All right. So it's actually covering. Does that make sense? It'll blur. It'll kind of look like it's on the same thing. You're not at that level yet where you can think abstractly. Yeah. Hey guys, this is a great podcast. I'm explaining how to fucking.
Sounds like a lot of work to do to everyone I have to do.
Oh, no, because that's the thing. See, because I know you don't. Efficiency is where your game should always be, and that's where it's not. Because once you do this once, Tyler, you just copy and paste. When you've got the size perfectly, and because all of your comments from more or less be the same, you just copy and paste. Boom, 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 over every single
That's goal
one
Remy
that you
101,
want
baby.
to do.
Do it right the first time, copy and paste.
Shout out to ADELE.
Shout out to ADELE.
Well done.
Yeah, just be careful. Be careful out there. Take care of yourself. ELON.
Congrats.
Congrats on the new son. I hope that he can help us figure out our customer service issues.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll see you guys later.